In this video, we're going to be looking at the OAuth 2.0 flow plus implicit flow, right? What exactly is it, right? And this is the third video in our OAuth 2.0 series. And so let's look at our scenario here. We have our client, we have our authorization server, and we have our resource server, right? So we click on the login, same as before. We go out to the authorization server. Okay, so this basically has our scope, and it has our kind of like what we're expecting to get back, the access code. We're making a request for that. And then when we get the connection, when we're getting the information back, we're actually basically getting an authorization grant. Okay. Now, the authorization grant is then sent to the authorization server. Okay. And the authorization server, so we put that over there. And then the authorization server sends us the access token. Okay. Now, the key thing here is that you notice how we are getting an authorization grant back from the authorization server, and then we reach back out to the authorization server to swap out the access token. And the reason why we're actually doing that is because it's more secure, and I'll get back to that in a minute. But where the implicit flow comes in is if the authorization server did not give us the authorization grant and simply just directly gave us the access token, then that would be called an implicit flow, right? So really it is the ability for the authorization server to directly give us the access token, right? Now, why don't we want to use the implicit flow, right? Why is it insecure, right? Because if we look at the mechanisms from here, right, this authorization grant here, this bit over here, this bit is what I would consider front channel, right? So you're using a web browser to access the authorization server. We're kind of getting some information back from the authorization. That's all happening at the web level, right? And the front channel is usually less secure than what I would say is the back channel, which is this bit here where we're actually swapping it out. Because when we're actually making a call to the authorization server with the access token and, for the access token, replacing it with the authorization grant, we're doing that on the back end, right? We're not using the web browser to do that, right? That our client, our server on this side, is making a call to that authorization server on the back end. And really, that back end is more secure, right? So why is it more secure? Because what we can then do to access that authorization server, to actually be able to get that information, we can actually get the access token, and then we can use a secret key in addition to our access token when we're actually accessing the resource server on the back end. So really what we're doing is, if you see all this is all our back end stuff, back end channel, and this is all our front end. And really the front end channel is less secure than our back end channel, right? We can use more secure elements using the secret key in combination with the access token. And you typically wouldn't use the secret key inside the actual web browser over here, right? That will be less secure, right? So that's really, what the definition of an implicit flow is, and really why we don't want to use it, because we're introducing this concept of front channel and back channel. Thank you.